Carter, this issue has often been confusing, as I know it is a confusing issue. But could you just explain the PBMs and how they use DIR fees with pharmacies?
Well, I appreciate that question, and it is a good question because it is very confusing. Remember, the DIR fees are fees that are recouped months, years after the fact. They come back to the pharmacies and they recoup them. The PBMs, which are owned by the insurance companies, yes, that's right. The insurance company owns the PBM, which owns the pharmacies as well. Not the independent pharmacies, but they own their own pharmacies. The PBMs tell you, we ask them, what are you using these DIR fees for? It's to lower premiums on your insurance. I would ask you, have your premiums gone down on your insurance? Mine haven't. They are using them because they're making sure that they have profits. That's exactly what they're using them for. They're not using them to decrease premiums. My premium hasn't gone down, and I'm sure yours hasn't either. So if they would simply move them to point of sale, where you can make sure that the patient gets that discount, then that makes them a little more palatable. But they need to be done at point of sale immediately, not months and years afterwards. This is just putting pharmacies out of business. What kind of business, regardless of what it is, what kind of business, whether it's a Democratic business or Republican business, whether it's healthcare or whether it's fast food, what kind of business can sustain when you have the people who are paying you coming back months and years later and saying, oh, I'm pulling back some of that money I paid you before? Simply doesn't work. That's why you see 4% of all the independent retail pharmacies in America going out of business. Thank you for the question.
Hey, thanks, Mr. Carter. I appreciate it.